The year was 1926. A storm raged within young J. Robert Oppenheimer as he toiled under the tyrannical rule of physicist Patrick Blackett at Cambridge's legendary Cavendish Laboratory. Tormented by doubt, Oppenheimer nearly committed a dire deed, poisoning an apple intended for his oppressor. But the good in him prevailed, and he recovered the tainted fruit before tragedy could strike. Seeking wisdom, Oppenheimer turned to elder physicist Niels Bohr, who saw promise glimmering beneath the student's troubled exterior. Bohr advised him to leave Blackett and forge his own path, studying theoretical physics in Germany. There, Oppenheimer's genius flowered as he completed his seminal doctoral research and befriended the brilliant Isidore Rabi. And let's be frank, her beauty was hypnotizing. Returning home, Oppenheimer vowed to unleash a renaissance in quantum physics across America. He blazed new trails at UC Berkeley and Caltech while romancing the raven-haired biologist Kitty and becoming entangled with the alluring communist Jean Tatlock. Wow, what a player. In 1938, however, nuclear fission's discovery rocked Oppenheimer's world, revealing the prospect of constructing an unimaginably destructive atomic bomb. When WW2 erupted, General Leslie Groves enlisted Oppenheimer to lead the ultra-classified Manhattan Project. Oppenheimer gathered luminaries like the volatile Edward Teller and his longtime friend Rabi in the New Mexico desert. Haunted by the possibility of Nazis developing their own bomb, Oppenheimer drove his team relentlessly until Tatlock's tragic suicide. Following Germany's defeat, some scientists questioned creating such a terrifying weapon. But Oppenheimer believed only the bomb could swiftly end the Pacific War and spare countless lives. When calculations by his protégé Teller raised the chilling specter of a runaway reaction, incinerating Earth itself, even Oppenheimer was shaken. But after consulting his mentor Albert Einstein, he concluded the risk was infinitesimally small. When the Trinity test irradiated the New Mexico sky with the light of a new sun, Oppenheimer understood everything had changed. As Hiroshima and Nagasaki were obliterated on Truman's orders, Oppenheimer became the God-level figure who unlocked the power of the atom for good or ill. The devastation shook Oppenheimer, who urged Truman to refrain from further nuclear development. But Truman dismissively rejected these pleas, intent on continuing the arms race. As an advisor to the Atomic Energy Commission, Oppenheimer controversially lobbied against building the apocalyptic hydrogen bomb proposed by his former student Teller. This stance fueled the animosity of Louis Strauss, the strident AEC chair thirsty for nuclear supremacy over the Soviets. In 1954, Strauss orchestrated a politicized hearing that revoked Oppenheimer's security clearance, severely damaging his reputation. Though Oppenheimer defended himself eloquently, he was outmaneuvered by rigged procedures, hostile questioning, and astonishing betrayal by Teller himself. Vindication came when Strauss was later denied a cabinet position for engineering Oppenheimer's downfall out of petty personal motives. In 1963, President Johnson finally awarded the aging Oppenheimer a long overdue honor. But by then, he understood the Pandora's box he had opened. For though Oppenheimer illuminated the power within the atom, humanity still lacked the wisdom to wield this knowledge responsibly rather than destructively. He left a legacy of achievement and regret, enlightening humanity about nature's deepest secrets, yet recognizing we remain unprepared to use them for good rather than harm, ushering in a new era of nuclear warfare for all of humanity. So let's explain this movie further. Director Christopher Nolan is known for making mind-bending movies that mix different genres like sci-fi and action. His new film Oppenheimer at first seems like a normal biography about scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer. But in the final act, it takes a shocking turn into horror movie territory. The first 2 hours introduce us to Oppenheimer's genius as a physicist. He gathers other top scientists to work on the atomic bomb for the US government during World War II. People really believe in Oppenheimer's leadership and ideas. The movie even calls his team a cult, since they have so much faith in him. Everything changes when they successfully test the first atomic bomb, called the Trinity test. Oppenheimer goes from feeling powerful to powerless. We learn the US has already dropped 2 bombs on Japan, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Oppenheimer is horrified by the immense destruction he helped cause. Nolan said, "The whole film is about consequences, the delayed effects people forget." The last hour shows Oppenheimer dealing with the aftermath of creating the bomb. This leads to the terrifying ending. There are 2 key characters introduced in an early scene set in 1947, Albert Einstein and Lewis Strauss. Strauss offers Oppenheimer a cushy new job and introduces him to Einstein at Princeton. But after a quick chat, Einstein seems to dislike Strauss. Throughout the movie, we see Strauss is an ambitious bureaucrat who doesn't understand restraint. When Oppenheimer ignores Strauss's ideas, he takes it personally. Strauss starts a process to take away Oppenheimer's security clearance and ruin his reputation. We don't know what Einstein and Oppenheimer actually talked about until the end. It had nothing to do with Strauss. Einstein says Oppenheimer must now deal with the consequences of his creation, the atomic bomb. The last hour shows Oppenheimer consumed by guilt over unleashing this horror into the world. Everyone he interacts with just makes him feel worse, like the president dismissing his concerns. In a chilling final scene, Einstein asks what they had discussed years ago, that detonating the bomb could potentially destroy the entire world. Oppenheimer hauntingly responds, "I believe we did." Suddenly, we see missile silos, hydrogen bombs, and images of the Earth burning in nuclear fire. Oppenheimer couldn't literally see the future, but he realized the apocalyptic scale of what he had started. Though not sci-fi, the ending plays like a horror movie, with Oppenheimer as a tragic Dr. Frankenstein watching his creation destroy the world. Nolan shows how Oppenheimer went from proud genius to guilt-ridden doctor of the nuclear age. His creation got away from him, with consequences beyond his wildest fears. This unexpectedly terrifying ending will leave audiences pondering the power of science unrestrained by conscience. So anyway, like this video and subscribe to Star Stunt for the latest drama, gossip and news. Do it now.